Hey guys, Carlos Hidalgo here with SocialSkillsSecrets.com, and in this video I want to answer a question from a viewer. And the question was actually in regards to a video I did in the past, which was self-confidence, faking it till you make it. And in that video I basically talked about how when you're first starting out, like with becoming more confident, what you want to do is model your behavior on people that are already confident, right? So adopt like their body language, their posture, and try to like kind of copy their vibe until you kind of come into like your own with it, right? Because certain confident people do similar things, so you want to adopt certain behaviors until you finally figure out your own style. So one of the viewers basically emailed me saying, and I'm kind of paraphrasing, but that he tried that and got good results. People actually thought he was on drugs at certain points. I guess he said he frightened them and they thought that he was on drugs, which I'll address that in a second. And then the hardest part was that he had trouble keeping up with the role of being confident. Okay, so for him it was like he had on like this mask, and he was afraid that people would eventually see his true identity, right? And see his actual nature, which was like not so confident. So he said, how do you deal with that fear of people kind of figuring out that you're a fraud, right? When you're first working on your confidence. So let me address the whole drug thing. Now, when you're yourself, right? Like, we're all kind of goofy. We're probably a lot goofier and like probably a little weirder than most people know, right? At first, because we always have like masks on. When you're at work, you act one way. When you're with your friends, you act another way. When you're around your parents, you probably act another way. But when you're just like with your best friend and you're just like hanging out, you're probably a little more goofy, probably a little more weird, right? You got some weird inside jokes. Well, when you become confident and you're yourself like everywhere with everybody, it kind of like, sometimes that might scare people because they're like, yo, this dude's kind of weird, like what the heck, right? I mean, a lot of times they'll like it because it inspires them to be themselves too, but sometimes it'll scare people. And I've had, I've been at a party where I was actually sober and people thought I was drunk just because I was having so much fun. Or I've been like with my best friend and we've been like cracking up and like just goofing off to the point where people thought we were like on drugs or high or something. So when you become more confident with yourself and you're okay with being yourself, it might kind of like, throw people off. So I'm pretty sure that's what he meant. But now in terms of this whole keeping up a role, now it's gonna feel that way at first because what's happening is you don't believe that you should be confident, right? Your brain's always looking for evidence for why something, why things add up. So if you don't have any evidence for why you should be confident, like, well, I don't really have that many friends, and I don't have that many girls that like me, I'm not that cool, blah, blah, blah. If you're constantly thinking that, saying that to yourself, your brain doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality. So if you're constantly thinking that, you're gonna create that belief system, and it's gonna be very much real to you. Now, on the flip side, if you do what I said, which is like fake it, and some people tell you don't fake it till you make it, like that's that's not effective or whatever. I think it is, because what you're doing is you're modeling your behavior on people that are already there, right? If you want to get good at like your job, what do? You find someone who's already good at it and you mimic their behavior, right? They're waking up early, they're working late, they're studying on their own time, like whatever it is, you adopt that, right? You want to be a better salesperson? Well, you learn like language patterns and you learn body language, you learn all these different things, right? Because all those things will help you become a better salesperson. Well, it's the same thing with confidence. If you want to be more confident, you have to adopt certain behaviors, you have to adopt certain body language, otherwise you're not gonna be or appear confident. And when you change your body language, to change the way you move, you change the way you feel, right? And Amy Cuddy, she did the TED Talk on, the power pose, and how if you change your body language, you do a power pose, which is like a confident body language for like 2 minutes, you can actually increase your testosterone and lower your cortisol levels. Another study that she did that was also similar to that, like change your body language before giving like a kind of a mock job interview, and people perform better. So if you change the way you move and the way you carry yourself, it's going to affect your brain, and it's going to change the way you feel about yourself. So I think it's very powerful, and I think it is a good technique to use. Now, in terms of the whole fearing people thinking you're a fraud, first of all, who the hell gives a shit what your friends think? Like, for real. Like, who cares? Who cares what they think? Like, let them find out. Like, okay, so you're working on yourself, you're trying to become more confident. Like, why is that not cool? Why is that not like, okay? I mean, I can understand if you don't want them to find out, but like, that's you. If you're like into self-development and you're into like improving yourself and stuff, yeah, you're gonna get made fun of. People are gonna kind of like, you know, some people just aren't really gonna be into that, because not everyone's into self-improvement and working on their weaknesses. They'd rather just stay mediocre or be the way they are. So I really wouldn't worry about what people think, but let's say you did, right? Don't look at it as a role, because it's not really a role, right? Look at it as just, you know, it's just like a temporary process. It's like it's an adjustment period, right? You want to adopt this new identity and new behavior long enough for your brain to accept that this is the new reality, this is the new you, right? Because again, at first, your brain's gonna be looking for evidence. Yeah, I mean, you're not really confident though, right? Like, you're just trying to trick me, right? But if you just keep doing it, you know, repetition is the mother of skill. You know, you just train your brain to think that way. Eventually, it's gonna adopt that behavior. And look, confidence isn't like what you think it is. It's not like just a button where like, okay, I'm confident now and I'm just confident forever. Sometimes, you know, your confidence wavers, you know. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. You're gonna be more confident in certain situations, you know, like situational confidence. Like maybe at work, you're super confident because you know what to do. But maybe in other areas, you're not so confident. But the more you face your fears and the more you do, right? You take action, confidence builds on that, right? Like, you can build confidence with momentum. So right now, yeah, you're faking whatever. Like, maybe you're trying to be more social, you're trying to get a girl, like whatever it is. You take baby steps, right? And you start having small little victories. And soon enough, like, you build off of each little victory. And then you look back and you say, wow, I remember when this was a big deal, and now that's nothing, man. That's like second nature, right? And it's gonna keep happening. You keep expanding, you keep stretching yourself, you keep growing. So look at it as just like a journey. It's a small process, right? It's not a role. You're not a character or anything like that. That's who you are. That's who you want to be. So just accept that is who you are already, and you're working on it. Okay? And who cares what people think, man? For real. You think I care what this dude over here thinks about me right now while I'm making this video? He doesn't care. He's on the phone. So do your thing, man. Inspire them. If anything, show them what's possible. If you're super shy, you're super weird, nerdy, whatever, then like become confident. And then show them like, wow, if that dude can do it, that's awesome. And maybe that, you know, you'll inspire them to do something cool. So I hope that helps. I was feeling that rant. I was just feeling it. So let me know if you guys have questions on that. Otherwise, yeah, for sure, man. Just, you know, it's like anything else in life. There's always a learning curve. It always kind of feels weird, but, you know, it's like a sport. You know, once you kind of get the hang of it, then you kind of add your own flair to it and you adopt it and make it your own. But first you gotta learn the fundamentals, right? Body language, you know, posture, how to carry yourself, you know, inner belief system. So learn the basics, and eventually, dude, you will just become confident. You will be confidence. It won't be something you do. It'll be just who you are. So let me know if that helps. Peace.